In the bustling heart of a forgotten neighborhood where cracked sidewalks told stories of hardship and hope, a young girl named Lila wandered home from her after-school job at the corner diner. She was only 18, but life had already etched lines of worry on her face. Her family lived in a rundown apartment building, the kind where the walls were thin and dreams were even thinner. Lila's mother worked double shifts as a nurse, and her little brother, Tommy, battled a rare illness that drained their savings like a leaky faucet. Every penny Lila earned went toward his treatments, leaving her with hand-me-down clothes and a heart full of quiet determination. But on this rainy afternoon, as thunder grumbled overhead, Lila's world was about to collide with something extraordinary. It started with a cry, a small, heartbreaking sob that cut through the downpour like a knife. Lila paused under her tattered umbrella, scanning the alleyway beside the old park. There, huddled against a graffiti-covered wall, was a boy no older than 7, his knees pulled to his chest, tears streaming down his dirt-streaked cheeks. He looked lost, utterly alone, his fancy sneakers muddied and his jacket far too expensive for this side of town. "Hey, kid," Lila called softly, approaching with the caution of someone who knew what it was like to be scared. "You okay? Where's your family?" The boy looked up, his blue eyes wide with fear. I don't know," he whimpered, sniffling. "We were at the museum, and I wandered off. My dad's gonna be so mad. I can't find him." His voice cracked, and fresh tears spilled over. Lila's heart twisted. She remembered all too well the terror of being separated from her mom as a child, back when their family was whole before her dad's accident. Without a second thought, she knelt beside him, ignoring the rain soaking her jeans. "Shoo, it's all right. I'm Lila. What's your name?" "Alex," he mumbled, wiping his nose on his sleeve. "Alexander Harrington." The name rang a faint bell, but Lila pushed it aside. She pulled a crumpled tissue from her pocket and handed it to him. "Well, Alex, we're gonna figure this out. Come on, let's get out of the rain. My place is just around the corner. We can call the police or something." Alex hesitated, but Lila's warm smile and gentle tone won him over. He took her hand, and together they hurried through the storm to her apartment. Inside, the space was modest, a tiny kitchen with peeling wallpaper, a worn couch that doubled as Tommy's bed, and the faint beep of medical equipment in the corner. Tommy, pale and hooked up to his oxygen machine, looked up from his coloring book with curiosity. "Who's that, sis?" he asked weakly. Lila introduced Alex, who shyly waved. Her mom wasn't home yet, so Lila made hot chocolate from the last packet in the cupboard, wrapping Alex in a blanket. As they sat, Alex opened up. He talked about his big house, his toys, but also the loneliness. His dad was always busy with work, traveling the world, leaving him with nannies who didn't really care. "He says he's building an empire for me," Alex said, staring into his mug. "But I just want him to play catch sometimes." Lila listened, her own struggles bubbling up. She shared about Tommy's condition, how the doctors said he needed a specialist surgery they couldn't afford, and how she dreamed of going to college but put it on hold to help. "Life's tough, huh?" she said with a sad laugh. "But you gotta hold on to the good stuff, like this hot chocolate." Alex giggled for the first time, and in that moment, a bond formed, a poor girl and a lost boy finding comfort in shared vulnerability. They played a board game Tommy loved, and for an hour, the apartment filled with laughter instead of worry. But challenges loomed. As dusk fell, Lila tried calling the number Alex remembered for his dad, but it went to voicemail. Panic set in. What if someone thought she'd kidnapped him? She debated taking him to the police station, but the storm raged harder, flooding the streets. Tommy's breathing grew labored from the excitement, reminding Lila of their fragile reality. "I wish I could help you more," Alex said, noticing her worry. "My dad's super rich. He has all these cars and stuff." Lila smiled faintly. "Money's nice, but kindness is what matters, kid." Finally, After what felt like an eternity, Lila's phone rang, an unknown number. It was the police. They'd traced Alex's smartwatch. Relief washed over her, but so did a pang of sadness as Alex hugged her goodbye. "Thanks for being my friend," he whispered. Officers arrived, praising Lila for her quick thinking, and whisked Alex away into the night. The next morning, Lila woke to chaos. Horns blared outside, and neighbors shouted in excitement. Peering out the window, her jaw dropped. Dozens of supercars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bugattis, lined the street, gleaming under the sun like jewels in the mud. At the center stood a tall man in a tailored suit, Alex by his side, beaming. "Dad!" Alex yelled, pointing at Lila's building. "That's her. The nice girl who helped me." The man was Victor Harrington, billionaire tech mogul, whose face Lila now recognized from magazines. He'd mobilized his entire fleet to find her address, turning the neighborhood into a spectacle. As Lila stepped out, bewildered, Victor approached with gratitude etched on his face. "You saved my son," he said, voice thick with emotion. "Not just from the streets, but from feeling alone. He told me everything, about your family, your brother." Lila stammered, "I just did what anyone would." But Victor wasn't one for half measures. He revealed his plan. He'd cover Tommy's surgery, all expenses paid, and set up a trust for Lila's education. "Kindness like yours is rare," he said. "Let me repay it." The neighbors cheered as supercars revved, but the real magic was in the hugs. Alex clinging to Lila, Tommy's eyes wide with wonder from the window, and Victor promising ongoing support. Yet, the resolution wasn't instant. Lila faced internal doubts. Was accepting help charity or a fair exchange? She challenged Victor, "I don't want pity. I want to earn my way." He nodded, respecting her pride, and offered her an internship at his company instead, a chance to learn and grow. Tommy's surgery was scheduled, but the wait brought anxiety. Lila held her brother's hand through sleepless nights, drawing strength from Alex's visits, where the boys played like brothers. Months passed, and challenges deepened the story's emotional core. Tommy's recovery was rocky, a setback infection tested their resolve. Lila juggled work, studies, and care, nearly breaking under the pressure. But Victor's team provided tutors and nurses, and Alex's letters of encouragement reminded her of that rainy day. "You comforted me when I was lost," one read. "Now it's my turn." Through tears and triumphs, Lila learned vulnerability wasn't weakness, it was the bridge to connection. In the end, Tommy emerged stronger, running in the park for the first time. Lila enrolled in college, her dreams reignited. The Harringtons became family, proving wealth and poverty could coexist in harmony. As supercars faded into memory, the true legacy was kindness rippling outward. Lila started a community fund for lost kids, inspired by that fateful encounter.